Doesn't look like there's anybody there.
Okay. That's record. Oh. Need to stop the.
You recorded it?
Well, my setting is out. I'm going to record them now.
Oh, sweetie, you missed it. You were here yet. Oh, you did leave? Oh, that's because they took the toilet and yeah. They had both. You can't. Yeah. Play the toilet. Ready to shred it.
That's it. People will be able to see this, but this can do the microphone and the view of that.
Sit down. I've got a lot of shit to do. As soon as I get off this call, we'll look at your FAFSA stuff. Yeah.
But,
Hey there. Are you on your way to get DJing? Uh-huh. Yep. Right. Yeah. The whole time. Yeah, the score is 7-3. San Francisco. Mm-hmm. Oh God, that's right. I forget. Mm-hmm. I do, and I don't know why. Mm-hmm. Um, I have to look at his picture, but I know who it is. But mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder who it is. I have to look. And that could be. Mm-hmm. Yep. Linda never tagged. Oh God, not too much.
Okay.
She'll go back. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Uh-huh. Oh God. So that means she'll be texting away this next week because he's gone. Yep. Uh, but you know what? Like we said, I think a lot of it is that she might be um, one of those. You know, who knows?
I think if I do it this way, Patsy, I can get it that way.
Hmm.
Right. Instead of going. Yeah. Trouble is now we don't have audio being had though. No, I don't have it. Yeah, the whole way. Well, we had, well, she talked to us. Oh yeah, she's muted. I see that. And Patsy, it's recording on my. I didn't. I forgot. In my corporate account, we have that. How do you do it? Trim. See the recording says recording there. You can lower the hand, maybe. I'm not claiming a host role, so maybe somebody else. Well, I'll be interested to see. Yeah. It's an MP4. Man. Hey there, how you doing? Don and Darlene, are you able to hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you okay.
No one is off mute yet. Darlene, could you unmute and talk, please?
Yes, I can hear you,
No.
but pretty faintly.
Hang on. I can hear you.
Oh, there you go. Yep, that's better.
Oh, okay. No, it's listed at starting bid at 3 million, so it might go back to the bank in that instance, and then a realtor would be called out to list it. Yes. Yeah. And it's like, Johnny, and you know what it is, because he spent the money on another thing and he's shucking and jiving. But you know what? You need to tell me that stuff. He told me he had somebody to write a letter, and he obviously doesn't. I know. Yep. Niners just got a touchdown. It's 14-3. Yeah. Okay, tell me when you go down there. Okay? All right. Bye-bye.
John, can you hear me? Wave your hand. Okay, we can't hear you talk yet. So Stefan's getting a speaker. Can you see me now? Okay, so I'm going to talk for a minute, and you can listen. You raise your hand if you want to wave at me. You want to talk. So guess what? I'm not going to show you. I'm still telling you. And I know that we're going to. I'm thinking that I'm going to get started early, right away, and then is it? Other things I want to tell you about that. I know I. Not done. Okay. Let's see, Don, can you hear better now? Okay. Can you see okay? No, it's not perfect. So I can tell you about these things, but I can't post yet. November 5th. Coming. Monday, November 5th. Salted caramel shake. Oh my god. Ice the Delight variety pack. Oh yeah. Oh. This is a new oil fragrance, Don. Yes. Did you hear Susanna? She said, sorry, we wish we had smell-o-vision. It's lovely. It's the new fragrance, or the new oil. See, there's a big difference. Yeah. Another thing that's coming, have you guys seen anything about the Welcome Back program? Okay. A couple things about it. Those people who come like him don't count for any of the promotions. Don't count for the iPad. There's one. But other person. What? For many, they came in once, and so the enroller was recruited to that previously. So it's prevent the double dip. Yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense, Don? Still doing okay here? So that's kind of cool. We can bring people back. Anybody not know that we are out? Hours in the day. As far as I know. Was nice to get. Yes. Yeah. Oh yes, 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 yes. And the yes. Yes. I don't know something. Did you say Mike is coming back? No. I haven't seen him. Let's see if that's any better. She can't hear. If I step away.
They're different. They're gluten-free.
Okay. And no chocolate, right?
And Betty was my guinea pig and she's still kicking, so
Chocolate, no chocolate?
no
Good.
chocolate.
Okay.
That's pretty good. And now I can eat them in front of Anna Marie,
Yeah, right.
in front of her.
She said that's better.
Did she talk?
Can you talk for just a minute, Dawn, and see if we can hear you?
I can hear you really well now.
Awesome.
No. This is good. Unfortunately,
Oh, I like the balls. Very good.
Which protein did you use on?
I used pumpkin
Oh, sorry.
and I added
Gee, Susanna.
pumpkin pie spice from Vitamin Cottage and almond butter, and it's like a Cheerio cereal, but it's made out of beans, so there's no gluten,
I love the crunch.
and it's got coffee grounds in it too.
Now can you tell the camera what?
Why did you put the coffee grounds in there?
Huh?
Why did you put the coffee grounds in?
Just because I like to call them buzz balls.
Because what?
I like to call them buzz balls.
Oh, okay.
No matter what flavor they are, they're buzz balls because I put coffee in them and your honey.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, do you guys have some honey? Or not?
Always have honey.
Okay.
We were about to get this camera business taken care of. We don't have to do it quite like that. Okay. So, the next thing I want to talk about that I'm so excited about for Dawn, and I suppose I have to say it for anybody who is on the recording. I have come across some amazing videos or podcasts recently. Anybody ever heard of Caroline Lee? Ever listened to Caroline Lee? She's an Afrikaner. The interesting thing about Caroline, let's see if I can switch this back. Dawn, can you try to talk again for me?
Sure, I can hear you very well.
Oh, and we can hear you now.
Okay.
Caroline is, I think it's called a cognitive neuroscientist. She's like in the top 10.
Washing up.
Huh? I'm gonna fix it so I can see Dawn.
What?
She did a podcast
I'm doing, honey.
about mindset.
Good.
And
Very
if
good.
you are inclined, I would be happy to send it to you. I don't want.
So I'm going to save your pork roast, but I'm eating the rest of the corn. You want some more corn?
Podcast.
Oh. Yeah, I don't want to throw that away.
She talks about
Do you want any more corn?
if you're imagining
Yeah.
that our brain,
Have a bite.
just with all the
There's a spoon in there. Have a bite, babe.
you know, the negative news, the negative Facebook, the negative this, the negative that it kills the if you were to imagine your brain like a whole batch of little and it strips some of the
Kind of crunchy.
And so she said, when you begin to
It got a crunch to it.
of your mindset, it's like taking
Good.
a blanket of Christmas lights. For example, taking gratitude and putting it over your little tree. He actually was saying that if you take 3 different times in the day and just think, she said it's better yet if you'll write them, but just think, I'm grateful for water. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for a car. I'm grateful for the stoplight. that stops us.
Very
And,
good.
I want another bite because they kind of.
you know, if we just 3 times a day slow
Got
down
cooked.
long enough
Mm,
to stop
Oh,
and ponder
that's the kind that
gratitude,
stick to your teeth.
that's the kind that'll
And then,
stick to your teeth.
it begins to generate growth on your little brain trees.
And
Another very interesting thing that she was saying is
I'll
the
do it.
power of taking 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes a day, and dreaming. Step away from work, and just dream. Let your brain have. Our brain has become so programmed with, or scrolling it on the television or the screen, that dream. What's dream? So
oh,
mindset.
that is good.
So part of what we're going to talk about this weekend
Will you hand me that pen?
has to do
Please.
with mindset as
Thank
scarcity
you.
or lack and abundance and plenty. Here's an interesting thing. If we think that there is not enough, when we approach people to share our opportunity, what do you think subconsciously is coming across? And you know,
You
it's a
need to go
funny
to the
thing.
garage
It's
and get some
powerful.
more or dish soap. There's a big bottle out there on the table. You want to go get it?
So that's why we brought this guy
Out in the
here.
garage, honey, on that table right there where we keep all the supplies is a big thing of
Whether
dish
it's
soap. Will you
a
get it for me?
spiritual
All right.
business lack, relationship lack. Brian Clemmer, I don't think he was the only one who ever said it, but Brian Clemmer used to say, the way we do anything is the way we do everything. And so if we have lack, even in one area of our life, the likelihood is, I'm not accusing anybody, if we have it in one area of our life, it is highly likely that we're going to have it in another area of our life. And here's the deal. I want to see you guys succeed. Really. So, if changing our mindset could potentially do that, is it a major win for us? Yes. To say, yeah, let's see what we can do. What would happen if in the meantime we change our mindset?
Can we turn the light on?
Would that be awesome? Yes. So that's what this is about. I'm so excited.
Is that the name of it?
It is. Doug Osness.
OSNES?
And I'll be happy to send the book around. The funny part about it is, I suppose I shouldn't say it this way, but you know, people oftentimes give us books. You know, everybody's writing a book these days. Nothing disparaging against my mom, but
Everybody's right.
this guy walked up to Mom and I, and he said, "This is my newest baby. I can hardly wait to share it." And they're both autographed, and thank you very much.
And did you know him before this?
I did. I knew he and his wife for several years. He's a very successful real estate broker in Denver. He's also involved in another organization that we're involved with called Transform Our World. I had an opportunity, and just kind of I don't do very well if things aren't moving along. And so things for me got kind of
That's all
slow.
you needed.
And I began looking through this, and I went,
Yeah, so we can fill this guy up.
this could transform our team. And so I went and I said, have you ever tried to do this as a study on a team call? He said, no, I haven't, but I'm open to talking about it. And then he came back and he said, how would it be if I came first and did it here?
And they live in Denver?
They live in
So
Denver.
that's much easier, yeah.
And so we're doing it this weekend. We're going to do it again the first weekend in February.
And that's
If
all
these
you
two are
needed.
successful,
And that's what we
once
do.
a quarter.
And that's
For
what
the
we
next year.
do.
You want to take it back out there?
Yeah.
Hello there.
I am
Thank you.
going.
Thank you.
Are you okay? Ask away. Spell it. Oh, chia. They're seeds. You would, Lauren, you actually have eaten it. It's in your oatmeal. Yeah. Okay. After having had a little car accident, I kind of tend to want to answer. And I know that she's out driving. So that's how this came about. And I'm really, really excited about the potential. So, I asked him about doing a team call. He says, let me think about this. Let's talk about it. Awesome.
Is he bringing books with him?
So let me put this up. Did you guys see this? Don, it's called Massive Success Q1 by Doug Osness. And then the paraphrase to it is double your joy, double your income. So then I go to University in Action and we begin talking about mindset. And I think, I'm wondering if I'm seeing a pattern here. So while I was there, another thing happened. Somebody that I had met on stage at one point, her brother-in-law, I think it's Jim and Mary Beebe, are millionaires. They're in the, maybe it's Jeff. Jeff and Mary.
Debbie.
Jeff and Debbie. The sister-in-law is Stephanie Beebe. We met on stage.
Yeah.
We met on stage and became friends. We've been trying to connect, and she has kids and lives in Phoenix. And so periodically we try to collaborate on things. It doesn't always work. But Stephanie invited us all to this call. And I don't know how many of you, if any, because it came so fast all of a sudden I realized I'd missed it, so I didn't even get to do hey, this is coming up kind of thing. But I reached out and I said, Stephanie, did you happen to record the call, Zoom call? And she said, I did. Can you send it to me? And that's the other part of why I'm so jazzed. Truth, transparency here. You don't have to raise it very high. I'll raise them for you. How many of you have ever gotten a little discouraged because the productivity that you expected or that you wanted or you were aiming for didn't match the results?
Two hands up.
Did you know that there was a study years and years and years ago called the marshmallow study? They did it with 5-year-olds. Brought a batch of them into the room, and they sat a marshmallow in front of them. And they said, you can have this marshmallow right now. But wait. If you can wait, we're gonna just leave you guys here. If you can wait, when we come back, we're gonna give you 2 marshmallows. And then they left. About a third of them waited. The rest of them ate. But here's the interesting thing. They did that study at 5. They did that study at 15. They did it in the 40 to 50. So that it had some interesting trackable results. At 15, they were making money already. They were successful in what they were doing.
The ones who had waited.
The ones who had waited. At between 40 and 50, most of them were entrepreneurs who were successful. And then later, they actually did brain scans on the ones who ate and the ones who didn't, because that's how technology had come. And lo and behold, the brains of the 20% who didn't eat showed a different pattern than the 80% who did. So, oftentimes in things that we are reaching out to, there is an 80-20 rule, not just in marshmallows. Look at all the people we have in Isagenix that are aiming for the same thing. And how many of them? 20. So, here's the deal. Hearing that, if you're like me, I have a little bit of a penchant for the disastrous, only in my brain. I never ever say it out loud. Oh, then I'm up a creek without a paddle and no water. If I'm not in the 20%, I'm never going to get there. My brain's not wired for that. What does that mean? Guess what? There's a solution. I'm so excited about this. I actually had a phone conversation with these 2 men yesterday. I'm going to be meeting with them next week. The title of the book is Consistency is the New Currency. And I can pass this around. What he is saying is just phenomenal. I'm going to ask for an honest show of hands. When the Disney thing came up, how many of you said, I'm going to Disney? No, it's okay. I didn't. Because I knew what it was going to take to get to Disney. And I knew that where I was on August 7th was not going to get me to Disney. Or, how many of you looked at the iPad and said, I'm there?
I didn't know now I'm going to the 15th, which would get me there.
That's exactly right. If we're in the 80%, and here's an interesting thing. For some of us, we have an area of our life that's 20% or multiple areas, and then we have some areas of our lives that are 80%. It's okay. And as I get further in this, you will go, oh, phew, this is, I can do this. What would happen if you take it out of 15 enrollments, however much, 10,000 points, and all you had to do was one activity today? Draft yourself a calendar, print it off the internet, do whatever you want to do with it, and mark a check in it at the end of the day that you did it today. not tomorrow, because there really is no tomorrow. You can't do it tomorrow. There is only today. What you're doing then is creating a consistency chain.
So one thing.
Well, I'm about to tell you, because you can choose. You can do 2 outreaches, 2 text messages, 2 casual conversations, and I've even got some amazing scripts that I can share for text messages or emails or personal messages on Facebook, or 1 genuine connection where you sit down and you talk about it. Just 2 or 1. Because here's what the numbers are. If you do that every day, we're not looking for 1,000 yeses and 1,000 nos. We're looking for today.
Okay, let me I'll give you your flosser one that you like.
2 outreaches or 1 connection. Eventually, some of those outreaches are going to what? Turn into connections. And some of those connections are going to turn into preferred customers or associates. When, today it's 1 day, but tomorrow we've done it for 2 days. At the end of 7 days, you're looking at your chain going, it's just 2 outreaches or 1 connection. It's 8 o'clock at night. I've got 7 days. Who can I text? It takes it out of the Herb and Patty Cepeda and makes it very functional. Very, for somebody who's working full time. And, I'm trying to squeak that in. 2 outreaches, 1, or, it's not both, or 1 connection. Now, yes, you're still going to have to follow up, because you can reach out and you may want to reach out again. And when you make the connection, you're going to have to do the follow-up. We're still going to have to master the scripts and, how to talk about the business, how to share the product. That's the fun part. Am I right? Once you've made the connection,
Your one-on-one or whatever.
I can tell you that I have met with people and I've said, if you really want to go where you need to go, you need to make 5 connections a day, every day of the week. And I know that they didn't think of it, but their eyes got about this big. 5?
Yeah.
That's hard. That's hard. 2 outreaches or 1 connection. Could everybody do that?
Yeah.
Then, when you hit 21 days, a couple things about it. First of all, 21 consecutive days, you've got a pattern. You're beginning to gain some momentum. The odds are in your favor. At 21 days, doing 2 outreaches or 1 connection every day, keeping your consistency chain going, we are going to begin meeting some of these goals. It has to. It has to. And as we change our mindset to the fact that there's plenty of connections, plenty of people, plenty of product, plenty of money, plenty of people. And the people that Patty is going to reach out to, or Suzanne is going to reach out to, or Kelly's going to reach out to, are different than the people that I'm going to reach out to. Doesn't make them right, doesn't make them wrong. They may just not connect with me. So there are. So can you see why I'm so jazzed? It makes it more doable, right? Particularly if we've got a batch. Once I get them, I'll actually send them out. Maybe even make a connecting WhatsApp group so that we can put them in the thread. Because here's what will happen. Once you've got them in the thread, or in a Word doc or whatever, you can literally just go cut and paste, change the name, tweak it just a little. It takes 40 seconds, to do an outreach, either by phone or by text or whatever, but you've got them, and it's fast. I've got a birthday one. I've got asking for referrals. Here's my thought. What if I reached out to every person on my Facebook, every friend that comes up on the birthday list, and sent them a birthday?
Yeah. And even they talked about, calling those people if you know them and have their number, and personally wish them a happy birthday, how much that means.
Or even sending a voicemail.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah. Guess what? That counts as an outreach. A talk.
And that's fun.
And it is fun. And here's the deal. The more fun we have, the more fun others are going to have. Kelly watched me connect today. I thought he might be here tonight. With the guy who played my cards. Was that strange, Kelly? Did he look awkward? No. Did I look awkward? He actually said, wow, I should know more about this.
What'd you say to start the conversation?
Well, he finished. It was 12:30. I said, do you have lunch in your car? He said, no. And I happen to have, I know I gave him solid gold. I happen to have a cranberry almond bar right there. I just handed it to him. I said, this is a full meal replacement. All the nutrition, 24 grams of protein, everything that you'll need. Does it tempt you? He said, looked it over, he goes, wow, looks like good nutrition. I said, I'm with a health and wellness company. He offered me his phone number.
Sweet. Who was it? Because I saw the thing up there.
His name's Austin.
Anyway, but yeah, that's good. I mean,
but
little things like that.
Do you think that we connected?
Yeah.
He said that he wanted me to call. He wanted me to send videos. So I'd say that's a connection.
Oh, Don has her hand up.
Yes, Don? Uh-oh.
She's muted.
Are you muted?
Yeah, she's muted. Yes, she is.
Unmute. Okay, can you hear me?
Now
Okay.
I can.
In my office, I had ordered a box of chocolate decadents and then a box of cream crisp, and they were sitting there. And one lady wanted them, and then another guy in my office from another location came in, and he said, oh, I probably should try one of those. He came back the next day, and he goes, I want the chocolate cream crisp. Order me those. Can I have these? And I said, no, those are someone else's. I'll have to order yours. So it was just the bars. And he is on this other program, not quite sure what it is. Doctor modified, reduced calorie little container of, I don't know, protein milk or something. But he goes, boy, those are the best bars I've ever tasted. And I said, the best thing is, it's a meal.
So that's a connection.
Yeah.
See how easy? Do we still have to reach out? Do we still have to learn the art of connecting? We do. Do we still have to learn scripts? Yes. Do we still need to follow up? Yes. If every day, in 30 days, let's just say that only half, all you did in 30 days, in your consecutive chain, 30 days of outreaches. At the end of 30 days, you have reached out to 60 people, and if only 10% of those people follow through to making a connection, that's 6 people. Is that more than what we have now? So I was so excited about this. So what I want to do is to see if I can answer any questions, if I can encourage you, get you started, because here's the deal. We can be kind of like the test study. Jim and George have offered to come on and do a team call for all of us. But if you reach out to your people, and Kelly reaches out with her mom and her connections, you reach out to your connections, all of a sudden we have a good amount of people on the call. So I don't want to do it too short in. And we have some experience to be able to validate what's being said. Yes, Jim. Yes, George. We talked about this at a team meeting on the 1st of November, and I've been doing this for 20 consecutive days, and I've had this kind of success. Let me tell you where else this is. I don't know, this stuff doesn't work anymore. Do you think there is a potential that those people are also in the 80% category? So at that point, it isn't really about an outreach and a connection, is it? Taking the conversation and saying, what is it that you're doing? What are you doing currently? I'm going to use my lovely husband for an example. I know that he needs to drink more water. So what happens if we set up a consistency chain where every day that you drink 2 bottles of water, you can mark an X on a calendar. Let's see how many consecutive X's you can get from drinking the water. And let's see what happens with that. You see how this could apply to a lot of things? Or not exercising, or whatever that tends to bog us down. And the funny part about it is, there's an interesting chain here. And we started out talking about mindset, and now we're talking about consistent action, consistency, not we start out, we're going for the Disney, let's use a different one, because I know this one so well. I'm going for Crystal Executive. You idiot, you should have never ever tried it. You knew you couldn't do it. What do you think that does to the trees in my brain?
Yeah, they will.
They more than wilt, they are practically dead. And so not only do we need one layer of mindset lights, I need a ton of them because of the damage that I do to myself. Whereas at 5 days of consistency, woohoo! 10 days, woohoo! Let's begin affirming, changing our mindset, changing how we feel about ourselves. So at that point, then, we can splash over good nutrition. We can splash over a lot of things. We can also splash because we're happy. We're happy in our life. I think the world personally needs a whole lot more happy.
Well, and I just think it becomes easier the more you talk about it to people, one-on-one or however, it becomes easy because you feel more confident and you know the verbiage better. and it just, comes out easier and you feel more confident.
That's right. Instead, what do we do?
We judge, I don't want to, whatever.
They're busy or.
Yeah, I don't want to call them, they're probably eating or, yeah.
But you don't even have to call.
I know.
But here's the other thing that we do, is that we say, I've tried. I've reached out. I've tried to do everything. I think I'm just going to. Nothing's gained that way. Nothing. And the people that we have offered hope to, where it isn't that we are their consistent source of hope. Because all of a sudden they're battling against an extra thing. What happened to my sponsor? Maybe this still isn't as good as they said it was. And so what do? We have a sponsor who leaves, and then we have the enrollee who leaves. I think this is the best thing that's been offered, and just next to salvation, the best thing that's been offered in a really, really long time. And so I don't want to walk away from this opportunity. I want to be able to share. And not only do I want to be able to share, but I want to be able to say to people, we have discovered a proven track record to see you succeed. So that's what got me jazzed. That's what got me jazzed up. When I saw this, and I have already started doing it. I have 3 consistent days of outreaches or connections. So I know it can be done. And I feel good about it.
And when it's only one, it's only 2. It's easy. When it's just 2 texts or, 2 Facebook messages or whatever.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Dawn? We can hear you.
I think it's great. Like Marcia said, we make it hard on ourselves. We prejudge. We get these goals. We don't hit them. Or like you said, who are you to think you could be that? We can do that. And like you said, it's easier. Our mind can adjust to that and manage it a little better. So 21 days, yes, I think we all can. I know we all can.
Well, here's what I'm going to propose. I want to see who wants to opt in for 21 days of consistency change, being accountable. At the end of the day, what I'll do before the night's out, I'll make a WhatsApp group. I'll make a WhatsApp group and put all of you in it. Anybody that wants in. And at the end of the day, you can do a huge shout out. Hey, guess what? I had this amazing connection. Woo, I'm so excited. Juicy, juicy. Or check. You don't have to put me. You mean you're not as excited as I am?
I think maybe after 21 days, I probably will have more enthusiasm. Right now I have a lot of fear. To be honest, it's just like, because
it's okay.
Sometimes a check is a big step in excitement.
I totally know that. I totally know that. The woman of 20 years ago could not have done this. Jumping up and down and juicy, juicy, juicy.
One thing, I've been talking to Patsy about the coffee. I get frustrated sometimes seeing the big teams, selling all these big packs all the time, ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, I'm having issues here trying to figure all this out, and I feel like a failure sometimes. And I started giving coffee to my neighbor, and she loves it, and she's building her own business. She's got people coming. She started giving them cups of coffee. Now people are wanting coffee from me, and I'm like, I have a coffee stand now. It's not what I wanted, but it's my foot in the door.
Yeah. Because then they're gonna wonder, well, what other products do you have?
Well, that was what I was suggesting earlier. One of the things that, one of the ideas that came through, Stefan's got my phone on here because he had to, before we're done, I'll show it to you. One of the, on the mastermind group, I think it's Lindsay Huffleberg. She, on her customers, that's how she sees them. If they're not building business, she sees them as customers. And so come the holidays, what do other businesses do? They send out a thank you card. Thank you for your business. And then she has tried to find something that they're not a customer of currently. So
no.
it could be that she'd put a chocolate in there or a replenish, just to say thank you and happy holidays. What a great way to begin to expand. The other thing, Anna Marie, when they get on, even this guy today, he said, well, how do I get him? Do I just come and buy from you? I said, you could. I'll tell you what I think. This guy has got a degree in personal fitness. He's a personal trainer. I said, I think probably what might serve you better is if I helped you make your own online account so that you could get on and look at all the products. Because when you get in the back office and begin trying to find that coffee after the first time, they have essential. They have skincare. They have bars. What else do they have?
Curiosity.
That's exactly right. So getting our foot in the door, however, and I have a very interesting graphic on my phone, and I wish I could remember it without having my phone here. I'm not going to probably say it exactly right. But it is something like, I am through letting the opinions of other people impact me until they begin to pay my bills.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because you can sell. I happen to know of somebody who rose very, very fast in the company. And then they thought they knew better than anybody else. And they decided, I have another business too. And so I'm going to try doing that business too. Until at this point, they have no business. And what have we done? I know for a fact that there are people who have looked at that business and said, I can never be that. And so they've never tried. What we need to do is be authentic. We need to be us. And one of the best, one of the side benefits to me that makes me excited about this consistency change is, you know what, if we're doing 2 outreaches and 1 connection, or 1 connection a day, it gives us time, Patty, to find out who are we? What is our authentic expression here? Not everybody can do it like I can. Most can't. Because my passion is different than yours.
Your experience, that makes up for a lot of it too. It's, basically just starting with our business part, the nervousness of verbiage, not knowing,
Well, yeah.
people ask you things.
Express their, well, I'm afraid to approach them because I know I don't know enough to answer their questions in just a simple,
Yes. Susan's life. He knows the product. He knows her business. She knows everything. But she uses the tools. If somebody asks a question, we go to isogenicshealth.net and you put this word in. and you can get your answers.
Or isoproduct.com.
Well, I know, but I get that, but some of these people are just, they want me
I
to,
know.
don't talk to me about something you don't know about that. That's kind of what I have.
I get it.
Yeah, and that's.
But here's the other
So
thing,
I'm like,
Patty. Here's the other thing I want to
lift the
encourage you.
product first and then they'll see it.
Living it is
That's
one.
where I'm at right now.
But two, if you were to say to me, any question that you might have, unless it's something that I'm 100% confident, I'd say that's a fabulous question, Patty. Do you mind letting me do some research and let me get back to you on it?
I love that. Yes, I like that. And I like that response. And I can use that response, I know, and I have actually. But
Okay, it's sad.
with some people, I just, exactly.
But sometimes that's us putting it on them.
That's
Because here's the advantage to what I'm suggesting, Patty. If I were to say to you, that's a great question, can I do some research and get back to you? When I come back to you, my answers, it's in looking to answer your question, in ISA product, it said this, and in ISA FYI, it said this. Because here's what it does: it turns it around and it makes it totally duplicate.
it's not on me. It's not my information.
Absolutely. Because when we begin to talk to somebody about sharing, then, well, Patty's only been in it a couple of weeks, and she didn't seem to have any trouble directing me to where my questions.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful.
Instead of having to know everything.
I like that.
Most
And
of
that
the
was
articles,
ISA Health.
isogenicshealth.net and isoproduct.com. And most of the articles have citations for those people that are really have to know everything.
Well, I do have some friends that I did that because they're vegan, and I actually gave them some shakes and told them to go to isohealth.net and look around yourself. So I'll see them this week.
And that's another advantage, even to getting somebody in. Yes, they can get to ISA product without having an account. It's a whole lot easier. The other thing I want to say with this consistency chain, who has not gotten their replicated site up and going? Because at the bottom of our connections, not in our outreaches, we can actually put the link to our replicated site. Patty, Isogenics has given us a site, and people can sign up.
Yeah, and that's whatever it is, .isogenics.com.
That's right. Yeah. Or remember, we can also send them a link through the ISO Life app. People are having amazing success with people signing up on the ISO Life app. Yeah.
I don't know, I guess it's a question. I want to be in control of letting that person say and having all that information for my sake. I mean, that's just
How hard is it then to replicate?
not hard for me, but.
No. The next person you say, now this is how you're going to do it. Are they going to control it the same way you do?
Yeah.
It's
I think
replicated is wrong word. Duplicatable.
Yeah, and the young people probably are more apt to want to do it that way.
I think it was Michael Murgatroyd that said to me, I said, the one thing I really, really hate is the way the sign-up process is. And he said, you know what? First of all, you've got a mindset about the sign-up process. Yes, it's gotten much more cheaper. But he said, as long as you are putting people in, every person that you bring on board is going to do exactly what you do. So, and that is the truth. So I can tell you right now, I have somebody who wants to put her daughter in, and she said, would you just do it for me? And I said, here's the deal. let's get on the back office. I will walk you through how to do it, and then you can abandon the sign up so that you feel comfortable. And then do it, and do it. Did you guys know that you can do that? You can walk through, yes. You can go in and put in like you're gonna sign somebody up. It's under the team, enroll new customer. You may have to find somebody you could borrow an email, not because the company will ever get it, but because in order to get all the way almost to the end, you have to have a unique email. But you can look around in the back office or look around in the product line, see what the customer is going to see, which is why the ISOLife app is so helpful, because you can go in and set up shopping carts, pre-done shopping carts, and then when you get into the ISOLife app, you send them your recommendation. Then all they have to do is enter their vital statistics. Voila, it's done on the ISOLife app. If you do it in the back office, as long as, you know, if your dog has an email, you can go all the way through, you can get all the way up into confirm this customer. So you can look at it, you can figure it out, you can frustrate through it. It is a valuable practice. Valuable thing to walk through. So it's not so scary.
I've actually signed up a couple, customers. So
Did you sign up?
I did. We did it together on my little iPad, and it was, a little bit of a nightmare. We ended up calling customer service, but it worked out. It worked out, and it was kind of fun because she knew, like my friend that I signed up, I had never signed anyone up for. She's super wonderful, so she was, we learned together.
She did it good. She didn't ask me to help. I offered.
Awesome.
She didn't need my help,
So
so
that was a while.
That's all right. Hey. The other thing that is interesting when we begin to make connections, and I'm going to be interested to see what happens with Austin. What did I do at the very end, Kelly? That's okay. At the very end, I said, because he's just taken on a part-time job. He's a personal trainer. Just taken on a part-time job because he wants to feed his wife. I said, imagine that. I said, that's a pretty admirable thing to do, my friend. I said, just want to tell you that this is a nutritional program with a compensation plan attached. And if you found that you liked the products and you wanted to try to implement them with the people that you were doing in your personal training, you could share with them. They could set up their own online account, and the company would give you money as a thank you for what you did. And he's doing stuff quite very good. Was it hard?
feeling comfortable with the verbiage, I think that's a big thing, But the more you do it, the more you feel comfortable, the more. And just also the more you listen to podcasts. I've gotten more and more stuff just by being involved.
The fun part, if we created a group and you guys are interested enough, and that's not like, if you're interested, no. I don't want anybody to say, she just keeps throwing us podcasts. What does she think we do? I think it's Laura Stevens.
The one she just said. I was just telling her about that today. You have to listen to it.
Dynamite. Yeah. Facebook Live. Yeah. Another really, really great one that I would have to pull off. It is really, really good. Is one with Trudy Maples. Talking about network marketing. The value of network marketing. And she did it. No, she just did it. She just did it again? Yeah.
Was it the one with the little graphs?
No, actually, she's talking with another woman. And she really is saying that, yeah, I know you can get coffee at City Market or at Sprouts or at Whole Foods. She said, you know what, when you do that, some big conglomerate is making all that money. But when you buy coffee from the girl down the street, you're helping pay for ballet classes. Whichever you decide is fine with me. That takes it out of network marketing. And she's very, very clear. I have never felt as confident as she was about making this statement.
Is it on YouTube or?
Actually, it was posted in the mastermind group. I'll pull it out and get it. But she said, when somebody says to me, oh, that's a pyramid scheme. Oh, no. Pyramid schemes are illegal. Period. There isn't any more conversation. They are illegal. And her face just, yeah. I could get behind that. Absolutely. She also said something in there. She had companies who were listening. The government had shut down.
Oh.
We've been around for 16 years. Guess we're not affected.
And now I just celebrated my 8th year, so now I can say, oh, I've been in this for 8 years, so it wasn't working. I was in need still here.
So that's about all I have to share. Except about what's happening tomorrow night. Oh, yes. Don, I wish that you were going to be here tomorrow.
Yeah, Don, hit the plane. Would you just get on a plane tomorrow?
Tomorrow night, we're going to have a bring and share dinner here. Give you a chance to meet Doug and Glenda, the other people who are coming on Saturday. Quick thing, probably not for you guys, because do you guys have friends here? But you can reach out to other people. Because here's the deal. I have loved to share about this event tomorrow and Saturday, because I can say, you know what, you are not going to hear about isogenics. You may see it on my shelf because that, or in my kitchen, because that is who I am. But this is not an isogenics sponsored event. This is a gift we are giving to our team and to our community. So if you know somebody, I've reached out to a couple of people who are in other businesses. It's a gift we can offer to them. So they can come on Friday night, and then Saturday, registration is at 8:30. We'll start at 9 until 5. I'm going to have an opportunity for people to opt in the very beginning.
I have plans to pick up my first one. I know.
So we're all just kind of right here and kind of get acquainted. And that's the first half is based on Doug's conversation, is totally experiential, which is another part of what I'm really jazzed about, is that it isn't just sitting and taking notes. The statistics say that to really make a shift, it needs to be more than just listen and write. You need to have an experience associated.
Oh, it's the Packers and the Patriots playing on Sunday, shall I?
We have experiences
Oh,
associated with
Mr. Packer. And the Patriots. Playing on Saturday.
Oh, I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It'll be okay. We're gonna be done in a minute. So I want you to invite people. If you have business associates, Patty, invite them. Doesn't have to be isogenics. Could just be a customer. Because who couldn't benefit from a mindset shift from lack to plenty? And Dawn, we are going to try a couple of different ways between now and Saturday morning, either to live it.
Okay.
I will keep you posted.
Okay, thank you.
Anything anybody else has?
Weren't you going to show something up on the screen?
I was, but I think I'll wait.
All right.
tomorrow night, 6 to 8.
6 to 8.
Just bring whatever.
Yep. Stefan, can you read what this says right here?
Mm.
Oh, there we go. Oh,
Okay.
perfect. So Dawn, you and I'll be in touch in the next 24 hours about how we can get you tuned in on Saturday.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night, Dawn. Nice to see you.
Nice to see everyone.
So the simple thing about reaching out for birthdays, that's easy.
But the thing that you want to remember, and you can do that, but you're going to want to start a consistency chain. What are you going to do if somebody doesn't have a birthday?
Well, actually, what I don't know if you were in my mind already. My friend was cleaning out her storage and then she had a whole bunch of postcards. And I went and bought me some stamps and they addressed a bunch of them. Stuck some cards.
That'll count.
Customers or potential customers?
Just people. Just checking in.
It's a great idea.
Because the last several years, things have just been wild in my life and I haven't sent out anything. Christmas card, no nothing.
That counts. It's a connection. It's a reach out.
So I have to mail one a day, not all at once, right?
2 a day.
Yeah, I reached over 2 inches.
I think, with Facebook, there's so many more people, like classmates and people, like for me, from back home, and just so much more of that than we ever had before, to be able to reach out, especially people doing things, you comment on it, and then, or they comment, they always say, if they comment something you do or whatever, then you should write back and say, hey, thank you for liking my post, how are you? Kind of get into it a little deeper. So.
You're going to stop at stuff?
Will you?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Because I need my phone, so I want to pass it around and people see these texts.
Okay. Your phone's right there.
My phone's right
Yeah.
there.
You're using my phone. Your phone's on next to the TV.
Oh.
So 2 texts or one contact.
Like one-on-one, right? Contact.
2 outreaches for 1 connection.
Okay.
Not a contact, a connection.
Okay.
Meaning actually talking to somebody.
Like what I had today with Austin.
Yeah.
Now, see, I have to say, for me personally, I'm really not really fired up or even want to deal with like Facebook or messaging. I'm a people person. I would rather say, let's have coffee and
That's an outreach.
Okay. Because that to me,
me too.
The passion, connection, eye to eye, and for me, that's how I feel like I connect.
Well, Patty, I have to say, I think I'm probably more in your boat than you realize. Because what's happened over the years is in my Facebook group, I'd say 80% of my Facebook friends are isogenics people.
Okay.
Which, hindsight 2020, I think it's valuable. I wish I hadn't.
I remember Jeffrey Combs always said, why are you friending Facebook people? You want new people into your feed, But we just did that at the beginning, and I do enjoy it.
I don't know any better than.
Well, when we do enjoy, because
So
a lot
here's
of
the
value
bonus
there.
for those of us who've done that. The new market is Instagram. And so probably very soon, I'm going to become more savvy on Instagram so that I can teach you guys.
Great. I've been using Instagram quite a bit and using the hashtags and all this kind of stuff. I do not understand how people are getting business because I'm getting especially at the beginning, there was like probably 20 people a day I was blocking. They were horrendous.
Well, I have to let people in on mine. I've got a pretty, I have to allow somebody to.
So you make it private?
I didn't know there was a way to do that. Oh my.
I don't think in the beginning there was, Anne-Marie. I think as time has gone by.
There is a way to. Okay.
Ask the kid.
So I'm like, oh wow, and I'm like, oh, I can't unsee that. No.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I have been targeted of late by men, single men. There's nothing.
You know what? Me
That's
too.
how it is,
It's like,
Yeah.
who is this guy? Silly. And I have my husband's name on my phone.
I don't know if you've ever heard of Beach Pavlov. She was with Randall Burke on his team for a long time. She is the best comebacks for these people. She writes them, she gets them going long conversations, and they're hysterical.
I don't have time for that.
I was gonna say I don't have time for.
And I don't have the patience for it. I'm with Patty. If I connect with someone on Facebook and they begin to have any kind of an interest, we just talk.
Yeah, me too.
I think I do better with the enthusiasm in my voice than I ever do in a text.
Yeah, I do that too. I say, we just instead of texting back and forth, let me just get on the phone. It's so much easier in case you have questions. I can answer right away. I take it off right away.
Yep, I would like to have that still. I think my sister probably does too. She can just type it out. My brain does not work that fast.
That's why I keep looking back at it to see what word actually came up.
Yeah. Let me tell you, my phone has a mind of its own, and it sends the weirdest things. I type in the right thing and I see it, and I go to the next one and it changes it. What? Is there a gremlin inside of you?
We pretty much got you figured out now.
And then half the time, poor Anna-Marie and Greg, I'm texting as I'm driving. But it isn't like I'm texting while I'm driving.
You're driving twice.
What you do is, okay, Google, send a text to Anna-Marie Longfellow on mobile. And then you talk it. And the text comes out, and it says, is that all you want to say?
No.
And I say, yes, and it goes.
And you read it after and you go, what the?
Yes, that is what it says. But I text with Anna-Marie often that way.
Sometimes I get a giggle. What between content and content?
Oh.
Yeah. So I have to say I have been working on this a little bit. I have not even close to repeating it, but I have been. The other day I sat in my car for about an hour, more than an hour, and worked it, and then 2 days later I looked at it and went, oh, okay, now I have to start over.
I missed a word.
Well, but it was flowing when I was sitting there taking the time to find my flow, and becoming more comfortable with how to say it, even if I don't have verbatim for the script, be more comfortable.
That's exactly.
Then you share, they share.
That's explained.
So that's
and remembering the numbers of it.
Yes, and and remembering the numbers of it. It's a lot of numbers to remember. Oh, I just went 100. Just to kind of get the interest to see if they're really, so I'm not there. Right now I just want to sign up people, not necessarily the usual. I know that's the thing to do though, because it was told to me by Marsha, and I said, I'm not interested in the business, I just want to watch. And then within a couple of weeks I was like, hey, my friend likes this, and so I signed my friend up, and she loves it.
Well, here's the thing. You don't necessarily have to totally engage them in the they share.
Okay.
But letting them know. I remember when Mom and I started Forever Never Never ago. Herc said, this is a whole lot more fun if you do it with a couple of friends.
Oh, well, that makes sense too. They can bounce off each other.
Absolutely. I've got kind of costumes, Dave. You have that? Okay, I have to. Maybe we should ask Marcia.
I suppose.
Did you see what I mean?
Yes.
You know, if I'm out here all alone,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
and Marcia hasn't, it's not that she's not done good follow-up, she hasn't followed up on that topic at that moment.
Correct.
And so when the two of you, it's like, we got this question.
Okay.
And then they kind of make it work on.
Well, and you're educating them, so if they talk to somebody else about it, then they can say, oh yeah, I experienced this, and this is how I, you know.
Well, and then when you've gotten somebody with two, and then if you help them with their two, then they see how that works. I mean, and that's because I'm
Well, and now
experienced that.
they have this time limits for the extra bonuses. You don't tell them from the get-go, you know, it's on our head if they come back later and say, you didn't tell me.
However, they may say that because we live in a world where nobody wants to take responsibility for anything. But what's the truth of it? Even in the associate sign up, there's information.
And what's flabbergasting is people, newbies, get these wonderful welcome kits that just have everything in them, and so many don't even look at them. Or people get on Facebook right away. Okay, I've got my box. What do I do now?
Yeah.
The guide.
Or did you not have a sponsor? I know I've seen some of those too, and it's like, why are you not going back to your sponsor and asking this instead of? Maybe they have,
But there is also another potential thing, just so that you know. If they came in and they did their shakes for a month, is it possible that their sponsor fell out in a month?
Or sometimes I think maybe some people get in and they're so Facebooky and
they want to know what
they just want to see what everyone else says. They don't want to.
She's still in there.
You should. Oh, Darlene,
No.
Dawn, you can just leave it.
Okay, let me get it back up there.
You see the stuff?
Hi, Dawn.
Did you touch it up here?
She just wanted to be like she's here.
You'll leave or?
Stop the recording. Has this been a good conversation, Dawn? This time we'll for sure say we're leaving.
Okay.
Still recording. Do you want to?
Stefan's just gonna leave the call.
See, that's how I am sitting down there in Durango when you guys have the meeting. I'm like, oh, they're gone.
Yeah. Or she's gone. There you go.
Okay.